Types of cross-site scripting attacks. So cross-site scripting vulnerabilities fall into 4 main categories, as shown on the screen. First one being stored cross-site scripting attacks, now also referred to as persistent XSS attacks, can be among the most damaging forms of cross-site scripting attacks, persistent XSS being among its primary forms. An attacker injects a malicious script known as a payload that remains on a target application such as a database, blog, message board post, or comment field indefinitely. Stored XSS attacks work by saving and running scripts every time someone visits an affected website, making it easier for an attacker to target multiple victims quickly with persistent results. Untrained users who access software without taking proper sanitization or validation precautions can also become victims. Stored cross-site scripting attacks aim to reflect malicious scripts back at a user, so the easiest way to prevent such an attack is to sanitize user data and process inputs correctly using appropriate parameter binding. Is also highly effective in protecting against these type of attacks. XSS payloads are then distributed as a part of the web page when victim visits it in their browsers, inadvertently activating malicious scripts by viewing that page in a browser. Examples of stored XSS include comment sections, review forms, contact forms, user details, file uploads, charts, login logs, online viewable emails, and notification systems. Second one being reflected XSS, that is reflected cross-site scripting vulnerabilities, are reflective, non-persistent or type 1 XSS. These vulnerabilities occur when an attacker delivers a malicious script to an unprotected web application and it is returned in the HTTP response, whereupon it executes as a part of that response, infiltrating legitimate users' browsers and sending back data to the attacker. Reflected XSS attack often target error messages or search engine result pages, as it's easy for attackers to send malicious emails with links that many users click. Once clicked, the server receives the request with malicious script, but since it's not stored anywhere, it responds by returning a code back to the user. Inaccurate validation or duplicating requests increases risk of reflected XSS vulnerabilities. Sometimes a reflected XSS vulnerability can be elevated to a temporarily stored XSS vulnerability by caching the server's response. It is also essential to test hidden input fields and use JavaScript variable names as query parameters. Developers often reuse parameters on other routes or endpoints, so testing for XSS on all pages that use the same parameter is crucial. Another form of reflected XSS is the URL path, where everything in the URL path may get reflected on the page. It is crucial to always ensure that a payload is in correct format for JavaScript code to be executed. For example, let's assume a shopping site with a search feature. A user searches for a product and then search queries included in the URL. An attacker could inject malicious code into that URL and send it to the user. When the user clicks on that URL, the malicious code is executed in their browser, compromising their interactions with the site. We can use parameter brute forcing tools such as Arjun, PanamSpider, and PanamMiner to discover new or hidden parameter. Next one being DOM-based XSS attacks. DOM-based attacks, also known as cross-site scripting XSS, are sophisticated ones made possible when client-side scripts of web applications write user data into the document object model. The document object model interface facilitates processing and manipulation of web page contents by reading and editing HTML, XML documents. Unfortunately, malicious changes to DOM context of victims' browsers allow DOM-based XSS attacks to inject unintended client-side code execution, leading to unexpected results. DOM-based XSS attacks differ from reflected and stored attacks in that they do not store malicious scripts on a server. Rather, this form of attack targets only one vulnerable browser, that is the victims. As these vulnerabilities can be more difficult to comprehend than other categories, automated vulnerability scanners and web application firewalls cannot easily identify them. When reading back the data from the DOM, web applications then read it back into the browsers for delivery to browsers, and if the data is handled incorrectly, an attacker could insert their payload directly into it and have it executed when reading back from the DOM again. We will now look at one example of DOM XSS. Let's look at the following code snippet that is vulnerable to DOM-based XSS vulnerability. Here this code reads user input from the direct_redirect URL query parameter using the location search DOM source and later use that input to set the location.href property. An attacker could inject malicious code into the redirect_URL parameter to execute arbitrary JavaScript code on the victim's browser. Fourth one being blind XSS. Now, blind XSS refers to another form of XSS where attackers blindly deploy malicious payloads on web pages that will likely to be saved persistently, such as databases or log files. Unlike typical XSS attacks, which are non-persistent and rely on immediate responses generated from data input by the attacker, blind XSS exploits vulnerabilities on the target web pages, allowing inserted script to be saved by the server. The unique aspect of blind XSS is that the attacker does not know where the payload will end up or if it will be executed. For this reason, the attacker must ensure that enough payloads are deployed and crafted in a way that remains effective over time. The best way to validate blind XSS is to send a specially crafted payload that triggers a callback to your endpoint upon execution, allowing you to verify the blind execution. However, this type of attack can still be dangerous as the attacker can potentially execute malicious code on a victim's browser without their knowledge or consent.